Now, talking about the future, what does Brainforge look like in the future?
Yeah, so we started the business just completely, alone. And so our initial goal, as soon as we were able to validate that this was a need in the market, was to just begin to grow. But consultancies commonly compete on headcount and sort of grow, and there's sort of two ways. You either go very hoity-toity, you just take on like strategic deck work, or you do like staff augmentation, sort of bid for the bottom. We've always sort of played in the middle where there's people that need us, but maybe it's their first time hiring data folks. And so there's a challenge for a consultant like us to explain the value and how expensive it is. We've also competed at the high end where we're competing with established businesses with 100 plus people with long backgrounds in doing this. And we compete on our candidness, our execution speed, and doing more showing than telling. So for us, one, I think at the end of our journey, Brainforge as a brand, meaning we connect extremely smart people to extremely smart problems. Like, I don't think there is some IP in the way we execute and our culture, but ultimately, like, if without ego, I think a lot about that. So there is a lot to build right now and making sure that we are trusted in the space. The other thing is I take a lot of inspiration from companies like yours where you lean on support, you lean on being very upfront, and you just do more, in the beginning versus like having a really tight sales process and being like, we don't touch anything until papers are signed. I've never been like that. And so we try to do as much in a non-transactional way as possible. The other thing is like we just try to find amazing people. I study a lot about like, companies like Chick-fil-A all the way to companies like just like the highest end restaurants where the way they treat their employees is the way that the clients get treated. And I work in client service, meaning compared to engineering, where maybe in my engineering world is 80% engineering work, this is 50% minimum communication work. So we now bias very highly towards technical, talented people that can explain problems versus just who can solve the
Hmm.
issue. Because just solving the problem doesn't keep the lights on.
Now they're just talking about it, right? You need
Yes.
both. Yeah.
So we have the unique challenge of doing both and doing it across 10, 20 companies in
Yep.
parallel.